Not optimistic I'm going to find much in this sort of uh, environment. And it's windy. There goes my hat. There's a piece of pottery, I think. Yep, that's pottery. I've done a lot of walking around on these cinders, and I've never been on this particular section, although I may overlap with some later, but suspicious. That's got a little bit of corrugation on it. So we're up here in northern Arizona, a little more than a mile high. That's why you see the snow. But pottery up here is more interesting, and I hope we find some good stuff today. Yeah, so this pile of rocks looks like it's man-made. This may have been a little blind or a fort. It's a good spot on the top of the hill to look at on your surroundings. So the black cinders here are probably a remnant of the latest eruption here, which they peg at 1085. You can see some other, cinder cones there, volcanic. The 1085 one is a little out of frame to the right, I think. So this is the way many of the ruins are around here. It's just a collapsed pile of stone, but it's quite high, which implies the ruin or the habitation site had pretty large walls, maybe even 2 stories, that have collapsed in order to give a big pile like that. Plain pottery there. Little pieces of plain pottery. You can see here 2 rooms. Right, you can see the far wall here, and there's an interior wall. You can see a room beyond that, and of course there's a room here. This is the near wall, and there's another one up there. These have probably been dug out, maybe by pot hunters, but there's several rooms that way. That's the typical design of many of these ruins that I've been to up here. That looks like a more interesting piece. Black on white. It's got a little, I think it was maybe part of a vessel. May even had a handle attached. That's not a normal flat piece of pottery. These 2 rooms from the other side. See, we're up here high. It looks like actually this was built onto a natural outcrop. That's what this is. But obviously all of this is man-made stuff. There's another big hole. Well, that's a better example of a corrugated piece. See the corrugations in it? This one too. What's that? Yeah, that's a rock. But you can see the little ridges on that. Again, my understanding, based on at least one reliable source I read, this corrugated was sort of everyday cookware, and the black on white was somewhat fancier stuff, maybe serving dishes. But that, in many cases, they're made by the same people. Just plain white, plain brown. Some that's a bit, I guess, smudged, they call it. Oh, painted on this side. A bit of black on red. It's nice when you find it. This is very good piece. That's a little better. Piece of black on white. Again, everything's hand painted. When I look at these things, I think back on how someone, 800 years ago was doing the artwork on it. It's a bit corrugated, broken piece. Oh, here's another painted piece. Now, experts can pretty much look at these and tell you what subgroup they're from. I can't do that. But most of them were made, I think, probably somewhere around 800, maybe 900 years ago. Different ones were more popular at different times, I think. Another thing about this ruin you can see from this vantage is that there's a low spot between me and the ruin. It's actually, it's low on all sides. This kind of thing would fill up with water. A lot of these ruins here have that sort of thing. And I don't know, I've never heard any discussion. I don't, they would dig holes to make kivas. That seems sort of unlikely to be a collapsed kiva. Whether they could actually try to have their own little water reservoir, maybe so. I don't know. And I almost missed this, but there's another sort of satellite room out here. You can see the far wall right there, sticking up out of the snow. But if you come around, there's also a wall here. It's like a big, this is like a big room. Let me see if I can back up. See the back wall here, and the far wall over there, again associated with the big ruin. And look at all the pottery here, all the orange stuff. Plain pottery. I'm sure there's some more interesting ones mixed in. Maybe you'll pick up. That one's got some fancier paintwork. A squiggly design. Some stripes on that one. As I said, there's lots of it out here. Oh, here's a rim piece of plain pottery. Rim, you can see the smooth top edge. Those are nice to find. That looks like a bit of paint on that red one, I do believe. And there's some redder corrugated. The other stuff we've seen is more tan. But both exist. Probably made by different people. Even further away, looks like another room perimeter here. This is clearly a straight line coming toward me. It makes an angle here. It goes that way. Sort of gets lost in the bushes, but you can see we're still close to the main ruin over there. We're just over there. So this is probably also associated with that habitation site. Close to 100 yards away from the ruin, we're still finding pottery on the cinders. Plain, it's black inside. That's a pretty big piece right there. Again, easy to find on the cinders. Looks like another ruin coming around the corner here on this tree. That's a big hill. I can't believe that's all collapsed rock. That must have been built on a natural hill. We'll go have a look. You can see natural boulders, but you see smaller stack stones on top. Some corrugated. And black and white painted here as well at this site. A nicer example of the red corrugated. Again, lots of pottery. We can see the stacked stone here and there. Don't think this was really a habitation site. I think it's more of a lookout. See it more on the other side. Some really piled high walls right there. Out in the distance, brown, that's the painted desert. There's an abrupt edge between the cinders and the sandstone out there. But here on top you can see a room. But again, the way it's built looks more like a lookout or a hunting blind or a place to hide. Got a hole here. I don't think that's a pot hunter. That's probably a ground squirrel or something like that. So you got a nice view. Oh, look down there. I remember this. That circle down there. Go down and see that. That circle, I always thought it would be a ceremonial sort of thing. So here's this circle we just looked at from the top. Look at that. It's quite a structure. Those are big rocks, obviously placed in the circle. It looks like there's an opening over there, an entryway. And that's where the lookout is on top, or just up there. Oh, piece of painted pottery right there. I think this is quite a scene. And there's another circle on this side. That's the hill we were just up. You know, it doesn't look like it could have any purpose other than something ceremonial to me. Not a habitation site, not a lookout. Well, there's another outcrop over there that may have something. Wind is coming up. Rainstorm is coming in later this afternoon. The wind's only going to get worse. Another volcanic protuberance, but seems to be a little bit of pottery around here. Very nice piece of red corrugated there. Nice bright piece there. You know, a lot of them are deliberately blackened on the inside. They do that by putting things that smoke during the firing process, is my understanding. A little bit of black paint on white pottery. Just a edge piece, a rim piece with the curvature on that. I don't know what kind of vessel needed a curvature like that. Sort of cool. This one burnt up. Nothing else around here did. Maybe lightning. That's pretty with the snow-covered cinder cones out there. But that thing in between, that little bump in front of us, I think I remember that one. I think there's stuff around it and something on top. But as I look down at my feet, there's some pottery here. It's an edge piece, a rim piece. I've been finding ones and twosies coming up the hill here. That looks like a stacked edge to me. Red corrugated. There's a rim piece. Still heading toward that, but I just picked up this nice piece. That's the best painted piece so far. It's just right down here. Turn it over. Another white piece here made of some paint. No, that's a corrugated. It's a nice painted piece there. Not bad. And we're right at the base of this one, which will go up even more as we get closer. I'm almost to the top. You can see the edge of a stacked stone wall here. On top now, I'm sure it's windy. It's a wall, low wall, sort of a flattened area there. But here's the real show on this side. Look at this wall, it's been stacked up. And over here, look at the big perimeter. Nice wall all the way around. Excellent view everywhere you can see. I don't know if this was habitation. I wouldn't have thought so. Probably more likely to be at the bottom. It's a more impressive fort. Still finding pottery out here. Nice piece of plane. We're this far from the hill now. Here's a piece of white. Oh, nice painted piece. Again, so this was a pretty busy area to have all this pottery around that look at up there. Look at that. There's a little man-made structure behind this, a little fort or blind. Stacked stone. Got a big barrier in front. Natural volcanic thing. Cool. A little bit of stacked stone in front too. On the other side, a little bit of stacked stone here. Continuation. Interesting. Used by people for some purpose. Just coming up on this little rise. Looks like a circle. Perimeter of a circle again. It's got to be man-made. Purpose unknown. Little circles right there, and I just noticed this nice piece of pottery. Well, one of the better pieces we found today. Nice corrugated and good size.